Deforestation is a clearing of trees in order to have clear land for building. It's the removal of the Earth's forests on a massive scale and resulting to damage to the quality of land. These images show deforestation taking place in varieties of rainforests. This right here is somewhat an example of deforestation. This got cut down in order for us to have more space in our yard, but after 3 years it's still here. And this is also an example of deforestation, kind of. This used to be a very tall pine tree, but it had to get cut down because it did something to the power lines. So sometimes deforestation is a good thing if you want to have good connection and Wi-Fi. Deforestation has many negative effects on the environment. It has caused a loss of habitats for millions of species. About 70% of the Earth's land animals live through deforestation and cannot survive. Forest cover also influences the ground temperature, soil mixture, rainfall, regional weather patterns, and global climate, which can be a big effect on humans if deforestation continues. This graph shows the global annual tree cover loss from 2001 to 2013. The red line shows a trend. The gray bars shows the amount of tree loss from 2001 to 2012. The yellow line shows the amount just from 2013. The numbers on the side show the annual tree cover loss, and then the numbers on the bottom are the years. Forestry scientists are mainly looking at the increased amount of greenhouse gases. In addition to the loss of habitats, lacking of tree growth allows greater amounts of greenhouse gases to be released into the atmosphere. If these rates are not stopped or slowed down, the consequences for the Earth's oxygen will become even more severe. This picture shows a process on how greenhouse gases affects the trees. It starts out with sunlight, then goes into photosynthesis. Photosynthesis travels through the trees. Then there's a decay in organisms, which turns into fossil fuels. And then factories appear. And then the smoke from the factories turn into carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide goes into the trees and slows down the rate of the growing in the trees. Indonesia has the world's highest deforestation rate. Jakarta, Indonesia has double the deforestation rate in Brazil and has become the largest destroyer in forests and has some of the world's most endangered species. The total logging in Indonesia has up to 80% and is reported to be illegal. This graph shows the forest loss in Indonesia and the Brazilian rainforest since 2001 and 2012. The dark red line shows the primary forest in Indonesia. The pink line shows all of the forests in Indonesia, and the green line shows the Brazilian Amazon rainforest. The red line has seemed to be the lowest, which are the primary forests in Indonesia, but has gotten a little bit higher since 2012. All of the forests in Indonesia has been on the medium range, but has gotten higher since 2012. And then the Brazilian Amazon rainforest had a very big loss in 2004, but has decreased since 2012. Deforestation has been a recent occurrence since about 1950. People started to notice when soil erosion started to occur, and as well as disrupted livelihoods. Millions of people rely directly on forests through shifting cultivation, hunting and gathering, etc. Deforestation continued to serve social problems and sometimes would lead to violent conflict. The conservation of forests into agricultural plantations is a major cause of deforestation. It is also commonly used to make more land available for housing and urbanization. These images show what deforestation mainly makes a use out of. People also use it just for this, and still occurring till this day. And lastly, here I happen to have another Example of deforestation, these are previous trees that we've cut up just from our backyard, and it's just sticks and logs and stuff, and most people would use this for building and stuff, and then other people just keep it in the shed. The most common strategy people have been using is going paperless. This strategy helps stop the harsh use of trees and just slows down the process. Another strategy that people use is recycling, reusing, and buying recycled products. This gives us less of a reason to cut down trees and makes us realize that we have more than enough leftover products that we can use in order to build and do other things that we would be doing with the trees from the forest. I think what can definitely change more is the involvement of the government. These are one of those topics that people aren't that much aware about because they're also busy worrying about money, not knowing that at the end it won't matter because we won't have a sustainable enough country to spend it all on. I think if the government made some new laws or rules regarding how much we take and what we are taking the trees for, would definitely stop or at least slow down the process of deforestation. It's not specifically anyone's fault because it wasn't one person's decision to take away most of the trees for every rainforest. It's something that naturally people began doing to the environment in order to get landscape, agricultural property, etc. The only thing money needs to be spent on is young and new trees that we can be able to grow in forests in order to replace the ones that have been lost. I felt really bad that almost most of my house came from is a part of this my dock or patio. This probably came from the Amazonian rainforest. How do you say that? And then I felt so bad that I planted my own pine tree. That's how bad I felt. If the rapid growth of deforestation continues, disruption of water cycles will occur and everything will be out of balance. Also, there is predicted to be an increase in soil erosion. Without trees to anchor fertile soil, erosion can occur and sweep the land into rivers.